Hi guys, Liana here. It's Tata's Tuesday, and no surprise, I'm talking Tomb Raider today. I really recommend that you guys check out my full review on MetalEater.com. It's a full review of the game as a game. It's not just the one portion I'm going to be talking about today. Also, this is gameplay after the game is completed. So there may be some spoilers. I cannot promise there will not be some spoilers. So you have been warned. What I want to talk today is about something I only vaguely touched on in my review, which was my version of Lara Croft based on the way she was pre-reboot is still not jiving with what's going on in this game right now. And to me, it comes down not to whether it's a good or bad character, because I've asked the Crystal Dynamics guys, and they said it's the same character. These are still prequel games, but to me, there's a fundamental lack of character going on in these newer games, and that makes me really, really sad, because there's some stuff going on in this game, and you notice I've put her in, the most the one she's in late game. I like it the best for what she's doing in this level, but you guys have seen my previous video. I was talking about the fact she was running around without a coat. Now, the reason that struck me so hard, and I didn't want to talk about it at the time because that would have been a massive spoiler, and, we were embargoed and all that stuff. We're not embargoed anymore. So what I took issue with was, before that scene, the game belabored, like, absolutely, hey, there's a target, can I hit it? Absolutely belabored the misery of being out in the cold. And she was standing right next to her friend Jonah, who is this big burly dude, and he wasn't shivering. And there she is, apparently not dressed appropriately for the weather. And we all know about my sticking point with the concept of appropriate dress in video games. It ain't just whether a character is sexualized, it's whether the clothes they're wearing are actually supposed to do what they're designed to do. But it goes deeper than that for me. The early parts of this game, to me, first of all, refute the way the last game ended. And like I said, there are spoilers. But, hello, bear. Oh, you guys get to see me fight a bear. Oh, this is fire. I don't want fire. I want poison. Whoops. This bear is on fire. Oh, that was actually super effective. Okay. But, yeah, at the end of the last Tomb Raider game, Lara's like, that was fun. Turn the boat around after all this crazy stuff had happened. And I'm like, all right, that adventurous Lara Croft is the one we're going to see at the beginning of this game. No. The arc of this game is all about Lara basically salvaging her father's legacy. So it's not even about her. It's about her father. And so we've got, one of the most prominent female characters in games reduced to daddy issues. And I don't want to blame Rhianna Pratchett for this, because she doesn't set the plot of the game. Game writers do not set the plot of the game. You want to set the plot of the game, the broad strokes of what happens, become a designer, not a writer. Writers just get the story from point A to point B. They don't set what point A and point B are. And that's important to recognize when I talk about what's going to happen next. And yes, I am showing you guys a tomb, because they're one of my favorite parts of the game. They're a part of the game that is, I believe, hands down legitimately good. Unfortunately, they're side missions. So, if the next Tomb Raider game is this, I will be very, very happy. But, whoa, okay. You can sort of see it. But, yeah, so first of all, the first half of the entire game fails what's known as the Bechdel test, which is, you know, two women talking to each other about something other than a man. It eventually does pass. They eventually talk about something more, but it took a really long time. And, oh, that's a... I already got past this. Okay. So, see, another thing I don't like is they don't say when you've actually beat the tomb. And that's annoying. Hey, did I not beat this tomb? What is this? I'm confused. Hey, hey! It's a bathhouse! Uh-oh. But, so that was sort of disappointment one. And what, no leap of faith? Okay. Rips off a lot from Assassin's Creed. I thought maybe I'd get a leap of faith there. That is disgusting water. That is freaking nasty. Ew, she's submerged. Hey, there's barrels there. And I'm going to try not to show the solution to this, which means I'm going to have to be freaking quick talking about... How the heck? Can I shoot it? Nope. Okay, so we're going to have to drain the water. So, yeah, so the first, it's really not Lara's story so much as it Lara's father being vindicated and you know, clearing his name. That's the motivator, which, okay, that's motivation, but a video game character in this day and age needs more than that. And, I'm a bit concerned, and I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just a bit concerned that people gave this game an easier pass on character because it's a female character, and I'm really concerned that critics are somehow expecting less of female characters than male counterparts. And that would make me really sad if that was true, because I don't see the score I gave this game, and you can look at the review if you want to see the score, because I don't like dealing in scores, but it's one of the lowest ones I've seen. And that doesn't mean it was bad. It means that I don't think it's worth the full price of a AAA game. And part of that is the story, and part of that is the exceptionally weak characters. And I think one of the biggest ones, the weakness, is Lara Croft herself. The games, and this is 2 games now, but I felt it more acutely in this game than the last one. The early moments in the game, not the levels in Syria, but the levels in Siberia, prey on her physical vulnerability, much like a survival horror game. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just that it's not a survival horror game. It's an action game. And action games are supposed to give you a certain sense of power while you play. And I felt like this was really crossing the stream genre-wise. I understand that it does have survival elements, but at the end of the day, you know, the discussions I've been having with gamers, people want to know that a game is fun. And it really disturbs me that so many people are praising this game, saying it's fun to watch a young woman be tortured for the first 2 or 3 hours of gameplay. And by tortured, I don't mean strapped to a chair a la, you know, Joss Whedon cliche. I mean freezing and falling, and there are some really violent death animations, again, that I feel are more sort of something I would... Whoops, wrong button. Something I would expect from a survival horror game, not a... I see. Not a... oh, it's timed, okay. Not an action game. And it's tied to the female lead, because one of the things that people, I'm not sure you guys know, is that the tradition of having female leads in video games is connected, inspired by Sigourney Weaver's character in Alien. And the whole idea of Alien is that it wanted to give the viewers a greater sense of peril by having a female in the lead, so people would feel more protective of her. And all through the reboot of Tomb Raider, I keep hearing about how they want to make Lara likable, Well, the very thing I liked about Lara back in the day before they rebooted was very much she didn't care about being likable. She wanted to get the shinies. That's what made her special. And I understand that from a sales point of view, you know, that likable main character riff is going to sell games. I mean, the last one sold 7 million. I'm not talking about whether something's marketable here. I'm talking about from the perspective of a clearly designed iconic female character. What's it doing? Iconic character, period. You know, let's just getting pissy at me. But yes, Loki. But you know, there are many different ways for male characters to be likable, and it really has me thinking that there seems to be this belief that in order to make a female character, or in this case Lara Croft, let's be specific, we're not talking about female characters in general, we're talking about Lara. But it seems to me that the way they've decided to make her likable is to make her bland. You know, I saw one guy describe her as a Katniss ripoff. Ooh, burn. But it's kind of true. But, you know, because of the bow, that's what he was going for. But in terms of personality, there's some Bella Swan in there too, in that the original Lara Croft was seen as a cipher, and yet we knew a lot more about what motivated her in terms of what choices she would make in a given situation. And that's interesting. I'm beached here. And it, you know, Lara would shoot first, ask questions later, and if in doubt, she's not going to do the, you know, the virtuous, noble thing. She's going to get the shiny. And that's what I liked about her. It was a different type of story. And the fact that, you know, that was something that would sell in the 1990s, and now they have to completely strip out any of that steel to make a game sell in 2015, or at least, you know, the perception is that she's got to be a cipher for a game to sell in 2015. That's got me doing some thinking and some soul searching. And that's because, to me, cipher characters are for first-person games. You know, when it's a first-person view, you're expected the main character to be a player proxy, and so there's not much character there. You know, Gordon Freeman's the classic example of that. And in a third-person game, you want a defined character. You want somebody you're hanging out with for the period of the game. And I'm going around in a circle here, but that's okay because I don't want to show the solution anyway. And I think that the streams have gotten crossed here. And this, you know, we're supposedly having made all this progress in terms of women in gaming and accessibility, and I'm sure there are a lot of women who will very much like this Lara, either because they haven't played previous games and have nothing to compare it to, or they like the fact that she's non-threatening. And I'm sure there are a lot of men out there as well who like Lara Croft because she, in her new incarnation, is non-threatening. But that is not Lara Croft to me. Lara Croft is a threat. She is somebody who defies death. She is somebody who takes stupid risks. And we completely understood why, because she's an adrenaline junkie and not an especially nice person. Now, I don't know why this Lara Croft does what she does 2 games in. And that is a big concern for me. And that's sort of what I'm going to be thinking about. I was hoping to have a more structured, like, prepared piece in this regard, but work has been kicking my butt day job wise lately, guys. So it's just not happening for me today. And that is Loki saying I need to let him out, so I'm gonna wrap there. And thanks for watching, and hopefully in a couple weeks I'll be back to the more structured content that you guys like. I'm just asking you to bear with me while I get my schedule under control. This is review period, so you know the priority is playing a crap ton of games. And if there is something you are especially interested in seeing me look at, something that you'd like to see me analyze, please let me know. I want to know what you guys are interested in. Okay? Okay.